we want to be cognizant of that fact, because I feel like there was a really, really tenuous situation where you should have spoken out, where you should have, held on to your truth, where you should have done something, and you feel like the environment didn't allow you to do it. So I feel like this was something you've been wanting to speak out about for quite some time, but for whatever reason, maybe it's the external constraints, maybe the constraints are internal. I feel like you didn't speak out when you were called upon. Okay, so I feel like that's the case here, and there was a situation that you felt you should have stood up for somebody, or you felt like you should have stood up for yourself, but the opportunity passed and nothing was done. Okay, which brings us into the month of February. And I feel like, some karmic lessons needed to be learned. So you're you're going through a major growth spurt. You're dealing with, thinking about actions and consequences. And I feel like there is going to be a major behavioral change coming through for this month as a result of something that happened last month. It could also be in the time of Sagittarius. So that could have been like back in late November, December as well. So let me just go into the spread here. The second house deals with finances, and it also deals with your value system. When it comes to finances, I feel that you want to be a little bit careful about where you are spending your money. Okay, so if it's on more for like fun, pleasure, entertainment, and I feel like it provides you that feel good type of a picker upper, then you want to also be careful that you're not, wasting money. This is a card about overindulgence. This is a card about, all that shimmers is not gold, like all that glitters is not gold. And this is a card about just emotional spending. Spending on things that make us feel good. By all means, if you are creating your own money, if you're managing your own wealth, this is all fine. But I feel like spending needs to be curved back just a little bit, okay? So don't spend to excess. But overall, it's a very good card that indicates you have a lot of financial abundance coming your way. There's a lot of, I'm seeing like contracts being signed, agreements being finalized, as well as you feeling very, very good about your financial standing at this moment, okay? So I feel like you're coming into a lot of financial abundance and a lot of just hopeful energy. As it pertains to your values, this is a card about overindulgence. So just make sure that we are in alignment here with, our soul's purpose, our purpose of being here. And we understand that, money's a means to an end, not an end in itself. So I do see that while money is flowing in abundantly, your lifestyle might be catching up with your spending as well. So just be a little bit careful about that, okay? Aim for that middle ground. Aim for that middle ground. I told Sagittarius, aim for the high road, but I feel like for you, moderation, that middle ground is going to be key. All right. In terms of your communication and your siblings in the third house, we have here the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is a situation where there might be a little bit of a conflict of interest, conflict of ego, power struggle as well, as it relates to people who you consider siblings. For those of you who are only child, I feel like it might pertain to step siblings as well. So there's something where I feel like you are working at cross purposes with each other and you're not seeing eye to eye. And I do sense that siblings, they might be very rambunctious. They might be very opinionated. And I feel almost as if they're urging you to be the same way, to really stand up for the things that you believe in, as well as really, stand up for your own truth and defend your own truth. So there's a little bit of conflict and clashes coming through in the sibling front, on the sibling front. As it relates to your communication, the same messages apply. And so the way that you are communicating for this month, if you have been very, very conflict avoidant, you didn't want to, ruffle anybody's feathers, you might not have stood up for the truth in the face of opposition. I feel almost as if it's coming back in where you have to deal with it. Okay, so I feel almost like the people in your environment and the people that you are communicating with, they're going to demand concise answers. They're going to demand a definitive, they're going to want a definitive answer from you. And I feel like you might not want to cause any trouble. You might not want to, step on anybody's toes. And so as a result of it, I feel like this is a situation, if it's something that you feel you have been dealing with perpetually, I do feel like it might even be like a karmic lesson. Okay. And so the way you handle this energy is going to be very, very important. Clear it up, say your piece, as well as stand up for the things that you really believe in, because we don't need other people to agree with us. We can agree to disagree. However, standing up for the things that you believe in really, it's a sign of strength of character. It's also a sign of moral integrity. So I feel like that's what's coming through here, and that's being challenged either through the sibling front or through the communication front as it relates to other people. Okay, the people you were just communicating with on a regular basis. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with family, and a lot of it has to do with just siblings. All right. Your fourth house deals with your mother as well as your family life. Okay, so the family that you grew up in, or the family that you are hoping to create for yourself. This is the card when it pertains to like a mother figure. We have somebody who is emotionally underdeveloped. Okay, so she might have had to take care of a lot of responsibilities. She might have like had to go out into the world at a very young age. And I feel like, she was on survival mode. And as a result of it, I feel like she might have just stopped emotionally growing. I feel like there was a lot of emotional, there were a lot of responsibilities imposed upon her. So I feel like she had to grow up too fast. And a lot of the times too, when people grow up too fast, they tend to make up for their youth in the present moment. So that means they might behave in a way that is considered a little bit more reckless of an adult. And they might behave in a way where they are, I want to say like attention seeking. They might have been a little bit, just a little bit irresponsible in the manner in which they are supposed to behave right now. So biologically, they might be older, but emotionally, I do feel that they are not operating at their biological age emotionally. So that's a source of contention coming through. Others of you might have a mother figure that is, a water sign. So this is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I'm sensing for some time for this month, I feel like you're starting to see this situation in hindsight. And I feel like you're removing those, rose-colored glasses and looking at this situation realistically. And you might realize that, she might be emotionally like underdeveloped. Okay. What I'm also feeling as well, this is a card of somebody that is generally like very agreeable, but deep down, I feel like even if they don't agree, they will just agree with you because they don't want confrontation and they don't want conflict. And I feel like you might have a mother figure that is like this, like conflict avoidant. And I'm sensing that, so some personality traits being passed down here that might not be good for you. And this is something that you might want to confront with sometime for this month, okay? What I'm also feeling as well is they're saying like a very, very loving mother, but the way that she shows her love and affection might not be the way that you expect to receive love and affection. So there's a little bit of a discord between, how you both show that you care about each other or how you both show that you love one another. For others of you in the home environment that you are creating for yourself, the same energy applies. You might be living with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The way that you show love is not the same way that they show love. I feel like they need a lot more attention from you. They need a lot more feedback from you, and they need a lot more affirmation, confirmation, validation from you. And being an air sign, you tend to be a little bit more emotionally detached. And I feel like this person is needing more of that sense of connectedness. They're needing more love. They're needing more compliments and validation. Okay. So just something to keep in mind about if you're living with another person that happens to be a water sign. This can also be in your family environment. One of the ways, if you are encountering conflict within the family unit, I just want you to understand that, the conflict is coming through because one person is not feeling validated, is not feeling loved. And so with that insight in mind, it would be really helpful for you to repair the relationship by, providing that emotional support, providing that sympathy, that empathy, so that the other person understands that you know what they're going through, and so that they feel validated. Okay, so I feel like that's the main source of conflict. It's like one person feels a little bit neglected, kind of left out on the cold. So they're not like I'm almost thinking like attention seeking. They're doing something that is that pertains to attention seeking in order to get you to focus on them. And that might be where the source of conflict is coming from, because they're feeling a little bit neglected. Okay. The family environment, I feel that it needs some fixing here. And I'm seeing a lot of young children, and I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot of young children seeking attention, because both of these cards indicate very, very young energy, working at cross purposes with one another, not knowing one another's intentions and motives, and not being able to communicate in a way that is meaningful and that is conducive for conflict resolution. So I feel in your home environment, this might be the situation that you're dealing with, okay? I'm seeing water issues for some of you within the home, leaking pipes, garbage disposal unit leaking. I'm seeing like dripping faucets and things like that. These are minor things, but they do, cause like little irritations here and there. So if you can get a plumber in to try to fix these issues, I feel like it's like do it in one fell swoop. So for example, you might have a leaky faucet, right? You call a plumber, and then you might realize that, oh, the garbage disposal is actually broken today as well. So I feel like some water issue, some water damage, or some leaking orifices. So it seems like ceilings, roofs, piping, or something like that pertaining to water. All right. In terms of your fifth house, the fifth house deals with creativity. It deals with, dating. It deals with children. There's going to be a lot of joy, contentment as well, and a lot of assistance coming through from children for those of you who are in the parental role. Okay. What I'm also feeling as well is when it relates to fun and dating, this is a really, really positive card for those of you who are single and dating, because it basically means new love coming into the picture, new crushes, new apple of your eye, that whole concept of like meeting somebody new that really blows you away. And I feel like you might be socially dating right now, and you're coming across this person and you want to take the relationship to the next level. And then for others of you, I feel like you are attracting brand new people into your life who can be very therapeutic, very healing for you. So you're encountering the big love, the great love, and you're encountering somebody that is really generous, very loving, and they're restoring your faith in people, in love, in relationships. Okay, so a very positive card overall. I'm sensing some of you are in the healing profession. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of scientists. I'm seeing a lot of doctors and nurses and people in the healing profession, even mental health specialists, even dentists. I'm also feeling like for some of you, you might be in a healing profession, like even holistic health, and you're doing something, like in that manner in order to generate money as well. So it's considered like a creative field. A lot of you are in the arts, and a lot of you are going to be able to attract a huge following, mainly because you're very good at your craft. Okay. So I do see like a lot of creative outlets that are coming into the picture for this month, mainly because you might feel that you need it as an outlet for your frustration. And I'm also sensing like therapists being brought into the picture. This card basically means that a lot of you have some type of a creative talent, singing, drawing, website design, for example. I'm seeing a lot of art. I'm seeing a lot of singing, musical skills, new musical like instruments being played, things like that, where you are devoting a lot of your time learning a creative skill, okay? Picking up a creative skill, learning something that is considered creative. So arts and crafts, or even like performing art, visual arts. So it's very, very positive. And I feel like it's going to provide a very good outlet for you. And it's also going to allow you as well to meet somebody new for those who are looking for love, okay? So this is a really, really good dating card overall. Your sixth house deals with your daily routine, it deals with your health, and it deals with your work. We have here the 10 of Pentacles, which basically, when it comes to work, there's a lot of financial abundance floating around in your work environment. So if you have shied away from negotiating for a higher salary, they're telling you that it is advisable for you to do it this year. First of all, the sun is in the constellation of Aquarius, which is a fellow air sign, which means that it's making a very positive trine to your sun. And so it's really good for you. You will be very well received. And it's also, you know, propping you up. So whatever negotiations you want when it comes to salary increases, or even, you know, getting into that higher position, you have strong support, and they highly recommend that you go for it. Okay. So if you came in like this in January, where you felt like I should have said something, now's your chance. And I feel that it's going to be really good for you. Some of you are operating like some type of a home-based business. So you might be working alongside family members. And then others of you, you might be like a domestic worker, or you might be working domestically within your household environment. So that means the caretaker in the family, you know, like a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad. And that's considered your work. And then others, you might be in a domestic setting where you are either a domestic worker, a housekeeper, a babysitter, and you're generating money and wealth that way. I'm sensing a lot of tutors, like people coming to a student's house and providing tutoring for them. And I feel like some of you might have tutors as well coming into your house. So this is a very good card that basically means people are working together to build up things that are long lasting, sustainable, and practical. So good card, very, very good card. And in terms of your work overall, you know, everyone is working harmoniously together, and they see the value, and one person depends on another person. So I feel like there's a lot of harmony within your work environment. And I feel some of you are working with family, or some of you are creating like some type of a home-based business as well. In terms of your relationship, what we have here is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles basically indicates like, it's interesting. For those of you in a relationship, I'm almost sensing like you have a very, very karmic bond with the other person. And there are many important lessons that need to be learned in this union in order to move the union along, in order to make things work, in order to like harmonize the relationship. There might have been a lot of financial difficulties, literally like in the past, as it relates to sharing assets with another person, or being in a romantic partnership or a business partnership with another person. And I feel like you are coming out of this and you're moving on towards, you know, more prosperous time, because I feel like, you know, the money house and the work house is highly lit up. So you might have encountered some financial difficulties because of responsibilities with children, even home repairs is what I'm sensing. And one person or both parties might have landed new work, and the finances are flowing in abundantly. And so you both are overcoming these things. And I also feel as if one person might be very, very frivolous with spending, and the other person is not aware of it. Okay. Like I'm seeing somebody possibly being a shopaholic, somebody, investing money in buying things that might not be practical. And so there's a little bit of conflict of interest, values differences between you and a partner that is creating a little bit of strife within your relationship. So this is something you're going to have to work on and work out with a partner, especially a romantic partner, because I'm sensing some imbalances here. And I'm feeling almost as if one person is hiding their receipts, Like they're keeping their shopping issues under wraps because they don't want the other person to judge them. So that's what I feel is happening in this environment.